Have you ever smiled while your heart was breaking? Have you ever heard someone you love destroy you with just a few words? That is exactly what happened to me. My own father thought I was a failure. I heard every word he whispered to my son. I acted like nothing happened. I smiled. I said goodnight. The next morning I packed my life into a few boxes. I sold the house that had been in our family for years. Then I left behind one sealed letter. What happened after my father read that letter changed our family forever. Stay with me because every single detail matters. For 30 years I believed that family meant loyalty. I worked hard. I paid every bill I could. I looked after my parents whenever they needed me. I never expected praise. I only wanted respect. After losing my job during a company restructuring, everything changed. The savings disappeared faster than I imagined. My wife worked extra hours while I searched for another position. Every interview ended with the same polite rejection. Employers wanted someone younger or someone willing to accept less money. My father never understood. Every family dinner became another lecture about how I had wasted my life. He compared me to my younger brother who owned two businesses. He reminded everyone that I lived in the family house because he asked me to take care of it after my mother passed away. To everyone else it looked like I was living there for free. They never knew I paid the taxes, repairs, insurance, and maintenance for over 15 years. I never argued because I believed actions mattered more than words. One evening my son came home from visiting my father. He looked unusually quiet. During dinner he barely touched his food. Later that night I walked past the guest room and heard voices. My father believed I had already gone to bed. He whispered to my son that he should never become like his father. He said I had no ambition. He said I was weak. He even suggested that my son should listen to his uncle instead of me because successful men deserved respect. Every sentence felt like another knife. My son did not answer immediately. Finally, he asked one question. "Grandpa, if Dad is such a failure, why does everyone come to him whenever they need help?" Silence filled the room. My father changed the subject. I quietly walked away before anyone noticed I had heard everything. That night I smiled as if nothing had happened. I hugged my son. I wished everyone good night. Inside my heart something had changed forever. I barely slept. Before sunrise I called my lawyer. The house legally belonged to me. Years earlier my mother had quietly transferred ownership because she knew I would be the one maintaining it. She never told my father because she feared arguments. The lawyer confirmed everything. By noon I contacted a buyer who had been interested in the property for months. Within weeks the sale was complete. I rented a smaller home across town. I packed every memory with calm hands. I left behind only one envelope on the dining table. Inside was a letter. "Dad, you always believed money measured success. You never noticed who fixed your roof. You never noticed who drove you to hospital appointments. You never noticed who stayed awake all night when Mom was sick. You only noticed my paycheck. The house is sold. The keys are gone. The memories belong to me. Take care of yourself because from today I choose peace instead of approval. Goodbye." When my father returned and found strangers inspecting the property, he called me over and over again. I never answered. Days later my brother visited me. He admitted Dad had cried after reading the letter. Not because of the house, because for the first time he realized he had lost the son who never stopped loving him. Months passed. One afternoon there was a knock on my door. It was my father. He looked older than I remembered. His confidence had disappeared. He asked if we could talk. For several minutes neither of us spoke. Finally he apologized. Not with excuses, not with pride, just simple, honest words. He admitted he confused financial success with personal worth. He admitted he had been unfair for years. He admitted he failed as a father. Those words healed wounds that had existed for decades. I forgave him. Forgiveness did not erase the past, but it stopped the past from controlling the future. Our relationship slowly improved. My son watched everything. One evening he hugged me and quietly said, "Dad, thank you for teaching me that real strength is walking away without hatred." At that moment I realized something important. The greatest inheritance we leave our children is not money or property. It is the example of dignity, self-respect, and forgiveness. Sometimes the loudest revenge is silence. Sometimes the strongest victory is choosing peace instead of proving someone wrong. If this story touched your heart, remember that no amount of criticism can define your value. Only your character can do that.